Hello everyone. In this video, let's understand how to deploy your webhook on GCP Cloud Run. We will understand all the things needed to deploy your webhook, and we will understand two ways with which you can deploy your webhook on GCP Cloud Run. So let's get started. I have created a small tool for my conversational agent, and it fetches the weather details from Open Weather Map. So when I say hi here, when I say Gandhinagar to get the weather updates, it will pull the information from my webhook, and you can see here it has passed this input and received this output or response from the webhook. And very quickly I'll show you that it is running locally at this point on my machine, and this is the code. So let's now see a couple of things about Google Cloud Run. It is best for webhooks. It is best for a single task, and you want auto scaling for that single task. One important thing here to remember is that this Cloud Run can't have internal storage, or even you cannot access temp folder from your function. There are two ways to deploy the application on Google Cloud. First, using Google Cloud Client, and second, using GitHub. So first, let's see how you can use G Cloud Client to deploy the application. So I already have installed G Cloud. The first thing you need is to install G Cloud CLI on your local machine. Once it is done, what you can do is that you can say G Cloud run deploy and the name of your service and the source. When you use dot, that means everything inside the current folder, then your region, then allowed unauthenticated in case you don't want authentication for that webhook or Cloud Run service, and this is some different thing. So these are the few things you need in order to deploy the application on Cloud Run. And let me show you one more thing here. You can see I have two things, git ignore and gcloud ignore. Whatever files that you don't want to push on Cloud Run services, you can add them into this file. So if you want .env file to go to Cloud Run, you don't include it here. This is only valid when you are using this Cloud Run. But we are not going to use this Cloud Run CLI command, and the reason is whenever you make changes into the application, you need to run this command. Instead, I'll show you another way with which you can connect your GitHub and deploy the Cloud Run application. And whenever you make changes into the application and push it on GitHub, it will redeploy it by itself. Before we move forward, I also want you to understand there are a couple of languages supported: Node.js, Python, Go, Java, Ruby, PHP, and .NET. These languages are supported. Now I'll go to GCP console and I'll select a project on which I want to work. Then I'll search for Cloud Run. Now you can see I don't have any services at this point, and when you hit create service, you need to attach a billing account to the project, otherwise it will not let you create a Cloud Run service. Then I'll create Cloud Run service. Now there are a couple of ways with which you can attach your code to the Cloud Run service. From existing image, or you can use inline editor to create a function. But since I'm going to use GitHub, so that whenever I push code on GitHub, it refreshes my function or Cloud Run service. So I'll select continuously deploy from repository, then set up with cloud build. I already have connected my GitHub account, but if you are coming here for the first time, you need to connect your GitHub account. I'll say YouTube Google Conversational Agent. This is where my code is, I'll check, I understand, then I'll hit next. Now here is an important thing. Either you write a Docker file into the code or you provide how you want to run the application, and you can write whatever command you want to set to start the application. Here I want to show you a thing is, if you want to deploy it using gcloud, you need to have this proc file. This proc file says that this application is a web application and use this command to run the application. So I'll copy the same command and I'll come to this build section and I'll provide my command here and I'll hit save. Now there are few things that we need to set up here. You need to first select the region where you want to deploy the Cloud Run functionalities, and then authentication, allow public access or require authentication. So I'll say allow public access. Then there is billing, request based or instance based. I'll choose request based. Instance based, that means the cloud function or Cloud Run service is always up. Then you can provide auto scaling configuration. Now here is a couple of interesting things. Container, volume, network and security. These three things you should avoid touching if you don't understand them. Here you will see the container port. Then there are resources. Here we have variables and secrets. So whatever environment variables your application is using, you can add them here. So I'll very quickly add my environment variable. Don't worry about me exposing these environment variables. I'll delete these after this recording. Now everything looks okay. So I'll hit create. This process can take a few amount of time. So once the process is complete, I'll resume the video. You can see the application deployment process has completed successfully and the application is deployed, and this is the public URL for that Cloud Run service. So I hope this very quick tutorial on how to deploy your application on GCP Cloud Run services is helpful to you, and you have now gained enough knowledge to deploy your own services on GCP Cloud Run. If you face any issue deploying your service on Cloud Run, please write your queries into the comment section. I'll surely get back to you. Finally, if you like the work I put on my YouTube channel, consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the life, feel the music. Peace.